Hello and welcome to Retro Americana. I'm your host, Jeremy Scott. Today on the show, folks, we've got Dr. James Townsend on the show. And Jordan Cox, that crappy Christopher Walken impression was just for you. But before we get James out and do all that stuff, up first, folks, we've got a commercial from 1994 for a video game for Sega Genesis called Booger Man. Oh, man. Look, I've shown a lot of commercials on all 3 seasons of this show, and a lot of them are great. Very few are super cool, but only one of them can be number one, and this one's it. For a lot of reasons, folks, for a lot of reasons. Wow. This is a gross-out commercial, obviously, and all I can really say about that before we play the commercial is, you know, this came out in kind of the early 90s. And in the early 90s, the kind of gross-out humor stuff started to get kind of popular, you know, with shows like Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, that type deal. So I guess they were kind of going in on that, man. Let's just play it. Let's just play it.
If you had jalapenos and beans for every meal, you'd have an atomic butt blast too. Booger Man for Sega Genesis. Hey, boogers aren't his only weapon.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't that a killer commercial? I mean, that is just... Can we get a round of applause for Booger Man? And I was told by James Townsend, Dr. James Townsend, that he's got this game. And maybe in a future episode we'll break that thing out and, I don't know, play a little bit of Booger Man. Okay, moving on. Up next, folks, we have an Ivory soap commercial from the 1960s. You know, there's really not a whole lot I can say about this commercial other than, you know, it's back in the day when bar soap was it. You know, nowadays we're all fancy with soap, you know, liquid soap, foamy soap, that type deal. Get a loofah going on, right, Jordan? A loofah? So check this out from the 1960s Ivory commercial.
You know what my husband gave me for my birthday? An apple tree. Obviously, he doesn't think I look like the glamorous type. I guess he thinks I look more like the healthy outdoor type.
A wife and mother talks about healthy-looking skin and Ivory soap.
If my skin's fresh and healthy-looking, I guess it's because I've gotten down to basics. You know, fresh air, sunshine, healthy foods, and lots of soap and water. Which the kids aren't too crazy about. We use Ivory around this house. Ivory's natural soap. Simple, basic soap. Ivory cleans gently, and to me, gentle, regular cleaning, very basic for healthy-looking skin. All that, along with Ivory's purity, and more doctors recommending it than any other soap, give me a lot of confidence in Ivory, you know.
Get down to basics with Ivory, a natural soap for healthy-looking skin.
All right, up next, folks, we have a Pampers commercial from the 1980s. And I'm going to give you a little warning. Straight up, there's baby nudity in it. Yep, baby nudity. So I just want to tell you about that so you can cover your eyes if you're easily offended. You know, when I think of Pampers, I think of, or just diapers in general, I think of the combination of baby wipes and baby crap. It's a really surefire way to make J. Scott vomit. The only thing that makes me want to get sick and throw up quicker is dog poop. And that happened recently. And touching back up on the baby nudity thing, it's a little side note for you. In 1992, I got suspended from high school for wearing a Nirvana Nevermind t-shirt. You know, it was the album cover with the baby swimming, chasing the dollar, and you see his little baby deal. Yeah, I got suspended for that. And I just want to say I thought that was stupid then, and I think it's stupid now. So, Anyway, check out this Pampers commercial from the 1980s. Look out, baby nudity. Baby nudity.
Now this dollhouse is an antique. How can you tell? No Pampers. Pampers? I was thinking of trying a newer brand. Why? Dryness is what quilted Pampers are all about. Pampers Susan wore when she was born were good, but these quilted Pampers stay twice as dry. Twice as dry? Sure. Wet both and wait. Quilted Pampers stay twice as dry. Dryer's gotta feel better. Sure does. And that advice is on the house.
Quilted Pampers stay twice as dry as before.
I could just smell the baby poop. I could just smell it, just watching that commercial. Okay, up next, folks, we have a Halls commercial from the 1980s. I think I remember this one. Like, occasionally when we have commercials from the 80s and maybe early 90s, sometimes I go, I think I remember that one. Other than that, this is a really cheesy commercial, you know, and the set looks like it's like a movie set. You know, they went all out. They made a log cabin, boy. And another cool thing about this commercial is the vapor sound effect. Like, there'll be a shot of this guy, and he's like kind of vapors going up, and the sound effect is very, very early 80s. Kind of reminds me of like a sound effect I would have heard on, like, say, Reading Rainbow or maybe Sesame Street, something like that. So check this out, a Halls commercial from the 1980s.
Smell that bacon.
Nothing can penetrate this stuffy nose.
This can.
Hall's Mentholyptus?
With vapor action. Hall's vapor action penetrates deep into clogged nasal passages to help your stuffy nose feel clearer, while Hall soothes your throat to help you cough.
Hey, this is something. The bacon? No, the Halls.
For penetrating relief, get Hall's Vapor Action. Now in new ice blue, too.
Okay, folks, before we cut out to commercial and get out, Dr. James Townsend. Again, Jordan, that one's for you. Jordan just can't get enough of my crappy Chris Walken impersonation. But before we do all that, I just want to say happy trails to Gary Coleman, made famous by Different Strokes. And when you think of Gary Coleman, I think pretty much everybody hears in their mind, what you talking about, Willis? Gary Coleman, you know, that was his big claim to fame, and after that, like so many other child stars, his career kind of took a nosedive, and he was kind of crazy, and he had money issues with his parents stealing from him, you know, because when he was doing Different Strokes, he was still a minor, technically. And there was some footage of him came out, I don't know, I think it was about mid-90s of him when he took a job as a security guard. He was on top of these reporters' hood of their car and refused to get off of it. So I just want to say, Gary Coleman, happy trails, dude. And we just found out about another one today, actually, that Rue McClanahan from Golden Girls passed away. And if you're kind of going now, who was she? She was Blanche. She was the one that was, I'm trying to find a nice way to say whore. She was she was loose with her ways, let's just say. But she was a great actress, and she's from Tulsa. I didn't know if all of you knew that or not. And, you know, I know all the words to the Golden Girls intro, and I'm going to spare you the madness of having me recite those. But if you ever see me out and go, hey, Jeremy, sing me the Golden Girls song, I might do it. Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to bring out Dr. James Townsend for you.